In the world of record making and guitar sessions, there has always been an obsession with vintage instruments. I totally understand that. I used to try and bring new guitar names into sessions, and I would get a lot of resistance, sometimes even hatred for it. In the realm of acoustic guitars, it generally had to be a vintage Martin or a vintage Gibson. If I brought in a Taylor, they would look at it and decide that it wasn't the right sound. Luckily, the old days are gone and most of those preconceptions have melted away. This is not a sponsored video. My Masterclass members allow me to do videos where I don't have to take fees or sponsorships. I have borrowed this from Taylor. They wanted me to show a very high-end guitar, which we're going to show you in this video, the 814E. But I said, if you're going to do that, let me borrow your most affordable guitar and we'll show that and see where that leads us. In about 3 minutes, we'll look at this new 814E. It has a secret adjustment bolt. It allows you to reset the neck within seconds for the life of the guitar. We'll also talk to Andy Powers. He describes the neck reset as open heart surgery. You know, they usually have to tear the neck off of a guitar to do this. This allows you to do it within seconds by attaching a wrench to one of these. This is the 117E, and it's near the bottom of their price list. There's some baby Taylors and student Taylors below this, but this is the one. And I'm very pleased with how good it is and how great it sounds. Now, an acoustic guitar that sounds big and grand in an ambient room is usually not the acoustic guitar that people choose to record with. The microphone likes, more than anything, a very strong, clear mid-range, clear and balanced. And for that to happen, it can't have too much bottom end. There's too much bass on a guitar, it will actually pollute the mid-range. You won't be able to hear it right. I also think a guitar shouldn't be too bright for recording. And so it should have just a little bit of sparkle on the top end, this clear and balanced and right in your face mid-range, and then just the right amount of bass. This guitar is intentionally designed to give you a more vintage feel at an affordable price. It has a torrefied spruce top, which means it's dried out to sound more played in. And the satin finish, it feels like it's barely finished, so that gives it a more warm and woody and vintage sound to me. Acoustic guitar makers like Martin and Gibson bear the burden of having to compete with their original glorious vintage guitars. So they have to keep making those exact same designs and models as good as the originals. Now, the originals are very dried out, they're played, so it is a real challenge. Taylor faces a different challenge. They are very aware that their early guitars might have been considered too perfect, too high fidelity, too glossy, and maybe even too easy to play. Bob Taylor graduated from high school in 1973 and started very small, so he's not burdened by all of this history. When they hear this kind of feedback, they can easily change and make instruments that play against those stereotypes and solve these problems. I mean, this guitar is a very, what they call neo-vintage sound. It's warm, it's not too bright, it has a healthy mid-range, and not too much bass. So now let's take a look and a listen to this new guitar that Andy Powers spent years designing. If you don't know Andy Powers, he's the chief guitar designer, president, and CEO of Taylor Guitars. Andy is looking far down the road in two different directions with the build of this guitar. He's looking back at the 20s and 30s for the style and the sound, but also looking forward for the innovation and this thing that I really like, which allows you to put it in a sound hole, attach a wrench to it, and basically reset the neck anytime in the life of the guitar. See, on this guitar, there are two neck adjustments. One is the traditional truss rod, which you access here, can make you go this way or that way, of course, like all guitars. And then this has this special nut that allows you to change the angle of the neck, essentially giving it a neck reset, make it more playable. Now, I adjusted them both, a little too much in one way, a little too much in another way, and then brought them back. So I've got it playing exactly the way I like it, which is pretty easy. So you just insert this, put the wrench on top, turn it just a little bit, and get it exactly the way you want it. You can just pull this out and save it for next time. This is a 1/4-inch flexible drill bit extension. And for a neck reset, Andy will tell us in a second, it turns it into a player's adjustment as opposed to a guitar tech's service repair.
Now, I used to like doing neck resets on old guitars. It's kind of like open heart surgery for a guitar.
I always considered it a violent thing to do.
It is. It's I've done it a lot of times. It's kind of horrifying. And different guitar manufacturers, some of them are real messy inside. Some of them are pretty tight. When Bob Taylor started building guitars, he went, yeah, I don't like any of that. That's a real hassle. I'm going to use some hardware and I'll attach the neck heel to the body, glue the fretboard down. We built guitars like that for 25 years. And you know what? They worked really good. Good sounding guitars. They served the purpose. Then we developed what people think of as the Taylor neck, where you would attach the entire neck to the body with hardware and these real precise spacers. You go, well, now you can take this thing apart without any glue, adjust the angles, the geometry of the whole guitar as it ages or to suit to taste, and put it back together. And it takes you like 20 minutes. It's easy. Well, this one is different from both of those. So we built 25 years worth of guitars with the first method, 25 years worth of guitars with the next method, and now we have this piece. I want to adjust the truss rod to the curvature I like for how hard I want to play it. And then I want to set the string height to wherever I like it.
That's like a dream come true for someone like me.
It's fascinating. I mean, I've been working on this thing for years. And so it's really exciting to see it in person come to fruition, go like, yes, we can build this guitar. This is a guitar that, in my view, serves a musician better moving forward than even what we've done in the past. So that means that owning, playing, using this guitar, traveling around with it, it's fully adjustable, and it's not like a service that gets done anymore. It's simply an adjustment. You can make the adjustment faster than you can tune the guitar. It's kind of this fun paradox. It's an irony that this is possibly the most advanced piece of technology that we've built, wrapped up in the most traditional guitar that we've ever built.
Here, Andy talks about his mission with this new gold label collection in combining the DNA of the best vintage guitar with the DNA of the best modern guitar. A quick shout out to Matt McGlynn for these two great sounding microphones. This is the Mini K87 from Roswell Microphones, and this is the SDC 84 from microphoneparts.com.
A lot of the guitars that I worked on in my pre-Taylor life, the kinds of guitars that I'd often end up building, they were very much steeped in the tradition of guitar, like a guitar with an old soul. You know, you take this collective understanding of what different acoustic flat top guitars sounded like over ages, go, well, I want some of that, and I want some of this, and I want some of that. There's a certain warmth to it. There's a response. There's this richness in the mid-range. To me, that's a different kind of personality than a lot of the very modern acoustic guitars we've built. And so with this instrument, what I set out to do was build something like a counterpoint to the ultra-modern acoustic guitar that we know and love.
Okay.
What I also want is the accuracy and the goodness of a modern guitar. I want the notes to play in tune. I love the sonorities, the timbre, the tone quality of some of these other guitars. But I want to put that into a context where I could go high on the fretboard, play all 6 strings, all the notes will play in tune. They'll all have good balance. There's no big weird spots or,
Yeah.
And yet I still have that kind of nice singing, like big, round, fat kind of quality. We have the right kinds of things now to be able to do it. It needed to take some cues out of kind of the pages of guitar history. That's why there is even some decorative stuff that's different. You notice the headstock shape has changed.
Yeah.
It looks like it came more out of the 1920s era with that little backset angle, kind of coming from my love of banjos and mandolins and early archtop guitars, different inlays, different pickguard with this engraved kind of stuff. It's all got a picture. Even the logo was something I drew out by hand. It's just those touches to go, okay, well, this is the different guitar for us, but it fits because there's a lot of, you're right. There's a lot of times you show up to a session or a gig and you go, yeah, I sort of can't take that guitar with a cutaway out of the case and be taken seriously. I need to show up with something that's appropriate. As guitar players, we get to choose our voice. We get to choose what we sound like. I mean, you're given the singing voice that you're given. You could develop it a little, but when I pick up a guitar, I go, well, what do I want to sound like today?
I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I don't have to take fees or sponsorship money when I show these instruments. I generally borrow them. There's no money involved and no commitment to do anything that involves me saying anything that's not the absolute truth. I have a genuine enthusiasm for these things. Now, the reason I get to do this is because of my Masterclass. And if you want to take a look at it for free, there's a package, a new collection of 30 free guitar lessons. All you have to do is click the link below, sign up for our newsletter. A couple of things. You support the channel and what we're doing that way, but you also get a taste of what's in the Masterclass in case you ever decide to join. So help support us, take the free offer, and enjoy the 30 free lessons if you're so inclined.
Hey guys, a lot of the time YouTube will bring you my videos even though you're not subscribed. If you get the chance, click this subscribe button and ring the bell.